Welcome to H. Gerstner Sons video on pre-assembly steps for a Gerstner build-your-own kit chest. Paul Martin, one of Gerstner's veteran employees, is going to demonstrate the pre-assembly steps for the shell of the chest.
These pieces are drawer slides. This is a partition. These pieces with the slots are for the drawer slides. This large piece here is the back. The piece with the cut in the middle is the top. There's also a spot for the lock. And the piece of plywood with the hardwood bonded onto it is the bottom. Just a few things to do on the inside first. These are the sides and on the top partition. We want to put the drawer slides in place and also some of the hardware for the lid trough here. This is a little bit of metal. It's meant to protect the slide for the lid, and there is a right and a left to this. Fit them in. And then there are these little nails that'll hold it. One thing, make sure those pieces line up. When the lid slides back, if those metal pieces aren't lined up, it'll catch, and that'll be a little bit of a problem, and it'll take a while to wear that in. So make sure that those lines line up. Next, we want to set up the drawer slides. The drawer slides go in now at this point rather than waiting for the whole box to be built. They're a whole lot easier to put them in here now. You can put them in later, but it's much better to put them in here now. You'll see a little bit of black paint. That's a code that we have. Here we spray the pieces with black to tell us, before it goes through the saw, to tell us that these are cut exactly the right width this way. That black paint goes towards the bottom, where you just put these metal pieces in. That's the bottom. So the black paint fits in towards the bottom. On the directions, they talk about 1.5 inches from the front. This is it here. This is the 1.5 inches. If you bring that in, fit it so that it's like there. You don't have to push it too hard. Just place it in nicely and you can tap it into place. They're meant to fit fairly snug, so you might have to tap them in place. That's a good thing. If they fit nicely, then they won't come loose. Any little piece of something in there and it won't fit in nicely. it's too tight, you might just sand a little away. Much nicer. Now for this side is the front, so we're measuring this way. If any glue squeezes out, now is a good time to take care of it. It's a lot easier to get it when it's wet, before the pieces are assembled. Now for the 7-drawer version, remember that there are some drawer slides on the partition. Don't forget those. You'll see it's a short piece of plywood here with the hardwood bonded on the front. This is the front. Next thing, we're going to start fitting the box together. This is the top, these are the sides, this is the center partition, the back, and the bottom. Start by putting the center partition into the top. Now, this is tongue and groove joinery. You can't take the end grain and just glue it like that. You have, like this, so this would be end grain to flat grain. You can't just do that. It'll glue, it'll hold for a while, but it'll break. The idea is to use this tongue and groove, set it up so that there's a good glue joint It increases the surface area. Also, this bit of side grain will glue to the inside of the groove. These pieces here, this center partition will fit in. That's again, tongue and groove joint. This is the groove, this is the tongue. This piece here is a little mark that's telling you that that's the top. This will be the top of the box. It'll look like this. Hardwood on the outside, notch at the top. This tongue goes in the back for the back here. This is the lock trough. So it'll look like this. That's the notch. Fit that in, and it'll line up with that groove there. You'll see a little bit of glue. Try to clean that off. Now, you cannot check the square too often. Anything you do, check the square. The more you check the square, the better the box will turn out.
That concludes our video on the pre-assembly steps for the shell of the chest. Don't forget to watch our next video for tips on assembling the shell of the chest. Thank you for watching.